Hi, my name is Brent Gray from Dupray. Today we're going to go through the different versions of the Carmen Super Inox. We're going to introduce you to the 110 volts and also the 220 volt versions. We're going to go through the main parts of the machine and go through the general maintenance and an introduction to everything of your new piece of equipment. First, we're going to start off with the basics of the actual unit. So we're going to start in the front. We have our power switches and our indicator lights. The first switch is the main power switch to the machine. After that, we have the power switch to the boiler. So if we turn this switch on, it powers the machine itself, but you'll see that the red light is actually on, so it's not heating the boiler up, so it's not going to produce any steam. Flip the next switch. This is for the boiler, so now the boiler is on. And I have two indicator lights here. One is the red light, which tells you if it's low on water. If it is low on water, the red light comes on. It also sends out an audible alarm, so it beeps. It will also cut your steam production, so no steam comes out anymore. So that's when you know you do have to fill the machine with water. The green light here will come on when the machine is heated up. On 110 volts, this could take about 17 to 18 minutes. On 220 volts, it should take about 7 to 8 minutes. If it does take a minute or two longer, that is normal. If ever it takes longer than that, then give us a call and we'll try to troubleshoot that. Next to that, we have the connection for the steam. So we have basically where you connect the bottom of the hose. So you have your steam connection and also the controls. In the back of the machine, you're going to see that there are two things. One where the main power cord comes out. So this will just basically plug into your outlet, or if you run it off a generator, of course off the generator. Or if you have a 220 volt version with the converter pack, then you go ahead and plug it into the converter back, and then the converter back into the two outlets. We do have here next to it, you'll see the vacuum connections. This is basically the main power for the vacuum, so if ever your vacuum is not working, make sure this is connected. Or if you have to disassemble your machine and move it to somewhere and you need to make it shorter, well, you can basically disconnect this and put the vacuum apart. On the machine itself, we do have the vacuum is here, so you have the vacuum head up top, which is the motor. Here we have the connection for the vacuum head, and then on the sides we have the clips. So you can actually take the vacuum apart in different pieces. So the vacuum itself removes, and then the canister itself will remove as well. On the front you have your disconnect switch for the hose, and then right here you have the power switch. This is the power switch for the machine for the vacuum only. So if this button is basically turned off, then you won't have any power going to the vacuum, and this could be why that you might not have the vacuum working. On the sides we have our water tank. So this is a continuous refill machine, so you can fill it up with water at any time. It's not pressurized, so with each fill up on 110 volts you have about an hour and a half of use. On 220 you should have about 45 minutes of use between each fill up. Fill it right to the top using the funnel, and on the bottom we have a drain, so if ever you need to take the water out to transport the machine, you can just basically disconnect the little cap here and let all the water out. On the other side we'll have the detergent tank. So this one here, you'll basically be able to see the same thing. If you have a 110 volt version, you'll have a little knob here, and this is basically the detergent flow rate. So if you turn it all the way to the left, no detergent will come out if you push that button on the handle. And if you all the way to the right, more detergent will come out each time you push the button. So you'll see what you prefer to use. On the 220 it is a constant level, so you won't be able to adjust that. On the back we do have two baskets. So if you wanted, you can take them off. Basically just slide in and out, on and off. And then if you take off the bottom basket, you can then take the top part of the cart off as well. So then you can put it into your car or in a smaller space. Inside the vacuum itself, there is a filter. Take this off, you're going to see here, there's a filter, so a metal filter. This screen, you should wash it out every time that you use the machine. That way that you never get it plugged up. If, for instance, the vacuum stops working or the suction's lower, it's probably because the filter itself needs to be cleaned. And underneath you'll have a float. This float is basically to prevent the water rising to a point where it can no longer suck. And the float will go up to the top, and you hear the vacuum will make a high-pitched noise. That means you should either empty the tank or clean the filter. When you get started with the machine, you have to have the two switches on, and you wait for the green light to come on. and once that's on, you're ready to go. When you fill it with water, you can either use regular tap water for most people, or if you're in an area that does have higher mineral concentration or harder water, you might want to use distilled water. With regular water, please make sure that you do use the boiler maintenance once every 40 hours or 50 hours of use. So if you're using the machine and the red light comes on and it starts beeping, and you need to refill it with water, again, because it is a continuous refill machine, you can just come back to it, open it up, fill it with water, and then start going again. Now we're going to go through the general maintenance and things to look out for and any troubleshooting that you might come out with. Every so often, as I was saying, every 40 hours of use, you should drain the boiler to make sure all that calcium comes out. So the way that it works is you have a heating element that's heating and contracting, so the calcium will break off the element and end up at the bottom of the boiler. And this is why we have to drain it out every so often. To do that, you're going to want to turn the unit off, then tilt the machine back. You can do it with one person or two people. And underneath, you're going to see a boiler drain. You'll want to take the Allen key, open that drain plug, let the water out. Make sure to do this when it's cold. You don't want to do it when it's hot or it's been working that day. Once the plug is open, you're going to come back to the unit, turn the first switch on, not the second one, just the front. What it'll do is take the water from the water tank, pump it through the boiler to rinse it out through the bottom. Once you go through one tank of water, basically you can turn it off. You can put the drain plug back in, fill it with water, turn it back on, and you're good to go. On 110 volts, if you do notice after a few minutes, the steam pressure will drop if you're running the vacuum full time. So what we recommend is, with 110 volt machines, to only use the vacuum when you actually need to use it. So use it sporadically. And the reason that this happens is, on 110 volts, you only have 16 to 1800 watts coming out of the outlet. The machine takes 1600 watts itself. So as soon as you turn that vacuum on, it needs to take that power from somewhere, so the boiler cuts its production in half. So if it's only working at half, that's why you're going to have less steam coming out, less steam being produced. Please make sure that if you're using 110 volts to really only use the vacuum when you need to use it. On 220 volts, you shouldn't have this problem. If you do need to use the vacuum for long periods on 110, make sure you use it on the low pressure setting. The vacuum maintenance, as I was discussing, if for instance it stops working or that goes to that high pitch, you want to clean the filter and make sure that float is still functioning properly. With the machine, besides that, is the O-rings. You'll notice on the handle there are 3 different O-rings. So you have the red O-ring and then 2 black O-rings. It's very important with the vacuum machine to lubricate these. That way they slide in and out nicely, and also they don't deteriorate and break down. So make sure they're always lubricated, and if ever you have steam coming out, make sure you can change your O-rings. With the unit itself, a common question, a common problem that people have is with the detergent. Sometimes the detergent will not come out of the unit itself when you push the button. And the reason for this is because the prime has been lost in the machine. So you have to reprime that detergent pump. If the detergent tank lowers all the way to the point where there's none left in the tank, and then you push that button, it sucks a bit of air into the hose. So what you have to do is fill it with detergent, go to your handle, turn the 2 pressure switches off, when the unit is on, of course, and hold the steam trigger and push the detergent button together. You're going to hear the machine hum. This is the pump, this is the detergent pump humming and working. After about maybe 30 seconds, you're going to have detergent come out the front. As soon as the detergent comes out, you can then stop doing it, flip the steam back on, and from there on, the detergent will work. This is every time that maybe you run out of detergent or anything like that, you might want to do that as a precaution. When you're using the unit itself, it's very important not to pull by the hose. You don't want to pull by the hose here or anywhere on the hose to pull the machine. The machine, it's about 65 pounds, so if you're pulling it, there's a lot of force going on this hose and the connection, and there's electronics in it as well, so you don't want to do that. It could damage the hose, it could cause you a problem in the future. So in the next video, we're going to go through all the different accessories and go through some of the applications and give you some ideas with how to use the unit itself. In this session, we're going to go through the commercial steam vacuum kit. This is the kit that comes standard with the Carmen Super Inox. We're going to start this off with the hose. So this is the hose that you're going to use with your machine. Basically all the controls are on it. Once the machine is ready to go, you're going to come onto your hose. Start off, the front switch is your vacuum switch. So it's the on-off switch for turning the vacuum on and off. Again, if you have a 110 volt machine, please only use the vacuum when you need to use it. You're going to go into the steam switches next. So the 0 is going to be off. You'll have one that is a low pressure switch, which is the single cloud. That's going to be your low setting, which is used for longer periods of use, and so it will give you a more stable steam pressure. We'll switch to the next one, which is with 2 clouds. This is going to be the medium steam switch. So again, a bit more steam, a bit more pressure. It'll give you a pretty constant level. If you use it with a vacuum, I recommend using the lower and the medium setting. The next is the high. The high is only for sporadic use. Only use it for 1 or 2 minute applications, as the machine will drop in pressure after an extended period. Again, if you have a 220 volt machine, you shouldn't have any issues. Next to that, we do have the injection button. So this is the detergent injection. So if you fill it with either our gum remover or the degreaser, then that's how you're going to use it. You'll also be able to fill it up with water. If you fill it with water, it's going to be an injection of boiling water, or not boiling, but just below boiling, so 145 degrees Celsius or 250 degrees Fahrenheit. To use the detergent, you do have to hold the steam trigger and push the detergent button at the same time, otherwise steam won't come out. If the detergent's not coming out, please refer to another video that tells you how to prime the pump, as it's a common problem. On the front, we do have our 3 O-rings, which, important again, is to keep them lubricated. So lubricate them before every use and you won't have any problems with it. The other end of the hose is our connection. So this goes inside the machine on the bottom. This is going to be your steam and control. Here, it goes into the vacuum and it clicks in. Make sure they're well clicked in when you use it. And of course, again, do not hold the machine by the hose, as it could cause problems for you. We're going to start with the lens. This is one of the most popular accessories and most important accessories. You have basically a steam gun with a removal vacuum. So you can remove this if you need to get into smaller, tighter corners, or if you want to use one of the larger brushes. This accessory you can use on its own or with the brushes, and it can be used on the extensions or directly on the hose itself. You're going to use it for stain removal, you'll use it for dusting, for car detailing, for pretty much anything that you want to use just the jet of steam. You'll see that there is a notch. So a little groove here that lines up with the brushes, and that's how you connect them. So I'll show you that with a little nylon brush, which slides on, stays connected, and when you need to remove it, you just slide it back off. So as you see, we do have various brushes that come with your machine. They're for pretty much every type of application, from grout cleaning up to kitchen degreasing. So you're going to find different brushes are best suited for different applications, and you're always best to test them out on the surface before going into the application. They basically go from least aggressive up to most aggressive. So of course, nylon is going to be your softest brush. We do also have horsehair brushes that are optional, but in the standard kit, you're going to go for the nylon. It's going to be a soft plastic. You can use it on residential grout cleaning, on stainless steel, on anything that's a bit more delicate and you don't want to risk scratching the surface. We then move into brass. The brass is going to be a bit more aggressive. It's going to give you a bit more cleaning power. You can use it in commercial kitchens or onto ceramics and places like that you really need to scrub it a bit more aggressively. Of course, then we have our stainless steel. Stainless steel is the most aggressive brush we have. It is going to be the strongest, and for on concrete or on brick or anything that you really need the more aggressive. You can use this for gum removal as well with the lens. We do have a gum removal tool, which we will get to as well, but this is another option. And that's one of many examples is the gum rule, but a lot of other accessories can be used for multiple things, or you can use multiple accessories for many applications. So you really have to familiarize yourself with the kit, spend some time and get used to the different accessories and find what works best for you. We also have triangle brushes, so we have 2 of them. They're basically nylon brushes, so they will go against a flat surface, up against the wall, or anything that's a bit more cornered. We basically have the standard one that will go on your lens. Again, it's just notched, so it just slides in there. We also have one that is threaded. So this one has a brass insert. That's to use on the gum brush, or on the gum tool, sorry. and basically it threads on there, and you can use it for gum removal on carpets, or you can use it for any other application that you really want to have the gum tool. You can use it for grub cleaning or kitchen cleaning, it's up to you. We also have our steam plunger, so it has a neoprene seal around it. Basically, the name says itself, it's a steam plunger, so you can use it for plunging and deplugging drains and sinks. Basically, you're going to put it onto the steam lamps, but you're going to notice that it doesn't fit. So you do have to remove the vacuum extension to put it on. It slides on there, put it over the drain, let the pressure and the steam and the heat build up inside the pipe. It'll deblock the drain and get rid of that grease. We also have a 6 centimeter brush. It could be black, it could be red, depends on your kit, but it's the same thing. And basically it's just a larger version of our nylon brush, so you can use it for larger surfaces or anything that you just need a bit larger brush to clean with. Use it in ovens or stoves or even into car detailing on the mats. Again, you do need the vacuum removed to be able to put it on because it is a bit larger. And the last one is our steam scraper. It's a plastic scraper that has steam on either side. You can use it for gum removal from flat surfaces. You can use it from sticker removal. You can use it for pretty much anything that you want to just sort of scrape it off the surface. Our next accessory is a steam gun with vacuum suction. So this one here you can use mostly in automotive detailing. It's very popular. Down along the cracks of the seats, you have the steam that comes out in front, and then the vacuum suction there. You can use it pretty much anywhere that you want to get into cracks and steam and vacuum at the same time. Or you can slide this accessory over top of it. Just sort of slides into place. This here will allow you to extract and steam different surfaces from, you can do it on carpets, in cars, on furniture, even you have a brush with the squeegee, so you can use it to scrub different surfaces as well. Again, it's an accessory that you can just sort of play around with and see what type of application you find best suited for it. Our next accessory is the upholstery tool. So this is the bristle upholstery tool. This one here, you guys see that it has the bristle connection that can come on and off, so you can use it without the bristles or with them. Normally I use it with the bristles. This is for on, say, carpets or on fabric furniture or on any type of upholstery that you want to clean. You have the steam that comes out in front, and then you have the brushes there. If you want more extraction, you take it off, and then you have a higher suction power because the brushes are out of the way. This is very popular for automotive detailers, and it's a great accessory for pretty much any type of upholstery. We do have a squeegee that's optional that can be connected to it. So if we remove the brushes, we can put the squeegee on, and it connects into place. This you can use on stainless steel or on any flat surface that you have the steam and then the suction right after. Our next tool is an optional accessory. This one here is basically a stainless steel upholstery tool. This is the most common tool for automotive extraction, and it is recommended to get the 220 volt machine if you plan on using this tool, because you do need the vacuuming steam at the same time for an extended period. You have the steam that comes out here, and then a nice small slit on the upholstery tool that gives you a large extraction power and lets you really suck that dirt out of carpets and out of upholstery. Our next accessories are a bit special. They're from another kit that we basically included on our kits for the commercial steam vacuum kit, because we find them very, very beneficial. For this, you do need an adapter. So this little adapter comes with it. Usually it's connected to the window tool already, but if it isn't, basically you're going to slide it into there, you're going to lock it in place. The locks, they work for all the accessories, we didn't touch on that, but it's important for you to know, is that there's an open and a block position. When you put it on the open, you're going to be able to connect it, disconnect it, and then when you put it on the block, it's going to stay in place. This tool here is our window tool. So you have the squeegee in front and the steam that hits here. To use it, basically you're going to go to the surface, you're going to go up to it, turn the vacuum on and the steam on the low setting. Basically let the steam come out, and then you vacuum right behind it. It does a phenomenal job on windows, especially very dirty windows, because it collects it all at the same time. On the back, we have a little microfiber cloth that comes on and off. We like to put it there so you can get around the corners or on the edge of glass windows, around the bases. So you can just flip it over and just wipe everything up so it's all in one. Again, you'll need this adapter for the next accessory, which is our floor tool. So again, take the connector, put it in, lock it into place, and with this you have 4 clips. This is so you can attach a cloth around it, and when you wrap the cloth around it, it's great for on hardwood floors, on smooth surfaces, because the cloth will attract all that dirt, and it'll also insulate the steam, so it'll be a bit more powerful, a bit hotter, and work better for disinfection, for killing bed bugs, and all these types of applications. You'll see that it's empty right now, and we have 3 inserts that will go in here, and 2 clips on the front. You're going to make sure both of those are on open. And you can take any of your accessories, make sure it lines up properly, and slide it up top, and push the block down, so that the accessory is now in place. You'll see that this one here has actually been modified. So basically you come with 3 different accessories. One will be a double squeegee, one will be a double brush, but you can take them and you can slide them in and out of place, so you can exchange it with, to make a nice setup, you can put a squeegee in front, a squeegee in the back, 2 squeegees, 2 brushes, however you want to do it for different types of surfaces. So then you can just push it back into place. Sometimes it gets a bit stuck there, but it puts back into place. You can switch it with different, to make different combinations for different surfaces as you see fit. The last one here is for carpets. So it glides nice and smoothly on the carpet and it doesn't get caught. You can put this in there. Again, connects the same way as the other ones. You just slide it over the surface. It does steam and extraction, but it isn't to be confused as a carpet cleaner or a carpet extractor. This is to refresh the carpets, to remove odors, to kill dust mites, but not a carpet extractor. If you need carpet extraction, you can always call a professional service for that, or a different type of equipment. With the floor tool or any other accessory, we have our extensions. So these basically line up inside there and connect. You can use it with 1 extension or with 2 extensions. Depends on how you want to do it, or what type of surface you're on, or what height you're working at. So again, it'll work with any accessory that we do have. It comes with 2 of them, so you can use 2 of them if you want to do grout cleaning or floor and tile. That way you can be standing up and not breaking your back when you do it. The last accessory that we have is our gum tool. This tool has basically been formulated and created for people that are doing gum as a profession. It has a big stainless steel brush head. Don't be afraid to do as much gum removal as you can. They switch. You can switch them, be careful, they are a bit sharp, so it's best to take a cloth and undo it if you have to do that. So you just spin it off and the brush will come off, and you spin it back on for a new brush. There are a little bolt here that you can tighten so that will stay in place as well. The steam and the detergent will come out the middle, and this is what you're going to use for your gum. So you're going to scrub the gum, and then afterwards you're going to suck it up with the squeegees here. These squeegees are replaceable, so if they do wear out, please replace them before you start wearing away at the plastic, because if you wear away at the plastic, you won't be able to replace the squeegees anymore. You have to replace the head. You can also use this for any other type of application that you want steam and vacuum with squeegee into kitchens or any type of application that you can think of as well. It comes with a carrying case, so you can put all of your accessories into the case here and just carry them around nice and easily. We have 2 different detergents, so they're both BioVap detergents formulated for our machine. Please make sure that you do use our detergents and not other detergents on the market, because other ones could become damaging to your machine or to your health. They can eat away at different components in the machine. They can vaporize and cause problems to your health. So these ones here are formulated to work in our machines very well. We have our gum remover. Always read the label to tell you what the dilution is. So read the dilution ratio and use that. You can always play around with it a bit if you want a bit more diluted or less. It's up to you. And then the other one is our concentrated degreaser. It's more of an all-around cleaner as well. You can use it for pretty much any type of cleaning that you want, or you can fill the tank with hot water. Both of them are biodegradable as well, so they're environmentally friendly, and make sure that you do use the right one. Last thing with our O-rings is, I mentioned before, to always keep them lubricated, and the lubricating process is to use a petroleum jelly. So something like a Vaseline or anything else that is a petroleum based. You don't want to use a silicone spray or WD-40 or anything like this, because when those heat up, they cause the O-rings to pop and basically deteriorate. So use something like Vaseline. It's the most common thing that you'll find, so it works very, very well. And just make sure they're always lubricated before each use.